Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Uyi Agumofwegbe. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcast. The Senate has approved the confirmation of 5 resident electoral commissioners for the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The confirmation followed the presentation of a report by the Chairman, Senate Committee on Electoral Matters, Simon Lalong. Ramsin Enoch Agbo has details.
Those confirmed include Umar Garba, Kano, Said Idris, Bauchi, Chukwu Emeka Ibezako, Anambra, Umar Mutar, Borno, and Dr. Johnson Sinekem, Bayelsa.
That after carefully scrutinizing all the relevant documents of the nominees and due consideration of their level of exposure, experiences, performances, qualifications, and integrity. 1. Umar Yusuf Garba from Kano, Saad Umar Idris from Bauchi State, Chukwu Emeka C. Ibezako from Anambra State, Umar Mutar from Borno State, and Dr. Johnson Alibo Sinekem from Bayelsa State.
After the confirmation, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, congratulated the new INEC regs and urged them to promote democratic values with integrity and patriotism.
Let me thank my colleagues and particularly thank the Committee on INEC and Electoral Matters and all the members for a job well done, and congratulate all the confirmed Western Electoral Commissioners today by the Nigerian Senate, and I want to wish them luck as they pilot the affairs of INEC in a fair and equitable manner to promote democracy and bring justice to all.
Ramsey Enoch Agbo reporting for Global TV News.
To curb escalating insecurity across Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu has approved the establishment of a National Forest Guard system and ordered the recruitment of over 130,000 armed operatives to secure the country's 1,129 forest reserves. The initiative, approved during the expanded Federal Executive Council meeting, mandates each state to recruit between 2,000 and 5,000 forest guards based on their capacity. The recruitment and training will be supervised by the Office of the National Security Advisor and the Ministry of Environment. Let's turn to the country's southeast now, where Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodimma, has reiterated his administration's commitment to strengthening interagency cooperation for enhanced security across the states. The governor stated this while receiving the Assistant Inspector General of Police, AIG Kanoyo Uzoegbu, who is on a familiarization tour of Zone 9, Umuahia. Imo State correspondent Samarachi Ibe reports.
Welcoming the AIG and his team, Governor Hope Uzodimma emphasized the need for continued partnership between the state government and the Nigerian police force, noting that the security challenges confronting the nation require coordinated efforts and high-level professionalism.
Nigerian police is one, anywhere and everywhere. I urge you people to give him support. I urge you to work together. Support yourselves. Discourage internal disagreements.
He further urged the AIG to deploy his vast experience and leadership to strengthen the policing structure of the zone, especially in the fight against crime and other security threats in the region.
Government and the people of Imo State, and indeed the 5 eastern states, I'm the chairman of Southeast Governors Forum. Part of the headache we have today is the insecurity in the Southeast. So we are not going to trivialize any arrangement that will strengthen security and secure the peace and order in this region. We are with you, and God is with us.
On his part, AIG Uzebu pledged the commitment of the Nigerian Police Force to improve service delivery through community-focused policing and strategic cooperation.
They have to be careful with all their campaigns. The border people that fight fellow crime criminals, criminal elements, go after them when they are comfortable with them. They should make sure that defeat their proper animals to get out of the state free. These are expectations of the state. So that if I come, I know you're in the state here, when I look at the flag, I say, this is a state. State indeed a great one.
The visit of the Zone 9 police chief is seen as a strategic move to foster stronger synergy between security agency and the state government in the collective fight for peace and order in the region. From Government House Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Thank you, Marachi. The federal government has commenced a comprehensive review of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, also called NEL Fund, operations across universities. This followed allegations of fraud in the disbursement of the student loan, which has elicited outrage across the country. Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Alausa, announced this while briefing journalists in Abuja following a meeting with vice chancellors and the managing director of NEL Fund. Correspondent Sharon Ojai tells us more.
The Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Alausa, says a multi-stakeholder meeting comprising of the Vice Chancellors, the National Universities Commission, NUC, NEL Fund, and the Ministry of Education has been formed with the task of assessing existing processes and delivering new standardized guidelines to improve the disbursement, communication, and management of NEL Fund student loans nationwide.
The second term of reference that this committee will work on to decide on timelines on when NEFON will pay the universities. They will come up with clear timelines that NEFON, is it that NEFON will pay every quarter or at the beginning of the semester, whatever timeline they come up with. And if NEFON is paying, meeting those obligations of timely payment, the issue of student get to the fund will be totally eliminated.
The minister says the final recommendations would be shared publicly once the committee submits its reports. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
Oh, thank you, Sharon. Tension has been reported in parts of Ogun and Lagos states over rumors of deadly rice in circulation. However, the Nigerian Customs Service in Lagos and Ogun have debunked the claims, saying there was no deadly rice in circulation. A statement by the Nigerian Customs Service Semi-Area Command Public Relations Officer Isa Suleiman says the narrative was entirely false, misleading, and did not reflect the reality of the matter. The Nigerian Senate has commenced moves to pass the Federal Capital Territory 2025 budget of 1.78 trillion naira. Leader of the Senate, Okpeyemi Bamidele, led the debate on the bill after President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, read the letter urging the upper legislative chamber to pass the budget. Queen Agaba has details.
The total sum of 1,783,823,708,392 naira only.
After the debate, senators unanimously passed the bill for second reading and thereafter referred to the Senate Committee on FCT to revert back in 1 week.
What we need to do as the State House of Assembly of the FCT is to keep on tracking revenues and the utilization of those revenues.
You need budgetary support to sustain the infrastructural development that we have seen. And last year, when we debated the bill, I pointed out that the only way we can bring high cost of land down is by opening up new areas.
The bill, according to the Senate, seeks to among other things, address infrastructure development and job creation, as well as other critical sectors like education, health, agriculture, etc.
For the service of the Federal Capital Territory Abuja for the financial year commencing from 1st day of January and ending on the 31st day of December 2025. Second reading read.
A breakdown of the bill shows that 150 billion naira is for personnel cost, 343 billion naira is earmarked for overhead costs, while balance of 1.28 trillion naira is for capital projects. For Global Television,
Governor Hyacinth Alia of Benue State has called for assistance in facilitating the return of internally displaced persons, IDPs, to their homes. Alia made the call at the North Central Regional Consultation on the harmonization of the National Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Framework in Makurdi, the state capital. This is Global Television. You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle with Uyi Agumofwebe. When the rest of the news returns shortly, Prime Minister Starmer says UK may set up migrant return hubs in other nations. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Well, thank you so very much for staying with us, everyone. The rest of the news broadcast now returns with business, where the House of Representatives has urged the Federal Ministry of Finance and the Nigeria Customs Service to provide a detailed explanation of the methodology and criteria used in determining the 2% import surcharge remittance. They further called for the publication of a transparent framework for circulating and implementing the surcharge in line with the provisions of the Raw Materials Research and Development Council Act 2022. Business correspondent Queen Agaba now reports.
In his lead debate, Senator Patrick Nwambweze says when the bill is passed, it will bar all ministries, departments and agencies from patronizing foreign-made vehicles and mandates them to buy only locally manufactured ones. He added that this move will create more jobs opportunity for the teeming youth and increase the country's gross domestic product. Senator Nwambweze added that the country will save costs if the President, National Assembly, members, governors, ministers and top government functionaries patronize locally made automobiles.
Unfortunately, over the years, we have failed to institutionalize the use of indigenous products, brands and services in Nigeria, and have instead glorified foreign goods of no particular superior quality. This failure has and is being felt in no less a sector than our economy.
After the debate, Deputy President of the Senate, Jibril Barau, who presided over the session, noted that if passed, the bill will be among the things that will stabilize the Nigerian economy and preserve the country's foreign exchange.
Bill for the art to make it mandatory for ministries, departments and agencies, including the Senate, to give priority to local manufacturers and indigenous automobile companies in procurement process and for related matters 2025. Second reading taken.
Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Business correspondent Queen Agaba there reporting. Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Bagudu, says the global economic community and multilateral financial institutions are placing increased confidence in Nigeria's economy due to the bold reforms initiated by President Bola Tinubu's administration. Senator Bagudu made the remarks in a statement signed by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, noting that the economic decisions taken by the administration are already yielding dividends, attracting investor interests and strengthening Nigeria's fiscal position. Let's take it to the foreign scene now. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa will meet U.S. counterpart Donald Trump in Washington on Wednesday, 21 May 2025, to discuss bilateral, regional, and global issues of interest. Tensions have been rising for months now over a range of policy issues, culminating this week in the United States resettling a first group of white Afrikaners that Trump claims are facing court persecution in South Africa. The visit provides a platform to reset the strategic relationship between both countries. South Sudan's government has denied that President Salva Kiir had died following online speculation. The long-serving 73-year-old leader has long been dogged by rumors of ill health, but he has been pictured in recent months meeting visiting dignitaries and ordering a series of dramatic government reshuffles. Kiir has also moved decisively against his longtime rival and the current first vice president, Riek Machar, placing him under house arrest and detaining several of his allies. U.S. President Donald Trump says he did not expect progress on Ukraine until he meets his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, who did not show up to talks with Kiev in Turkey. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky flew to Ankara today after daring Putin to show up and negotiate directly to prove he was serious about peace. Putin had proposed direct talks, the first since the immediate aftermath of his invasion of Ukraine in February of 2022, but Russia sent a low-level delegation. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer says UK would begin talks with other countries on what he calls return hubs for failed asylum seekers. Starmer is under pressure to cut the number of irregular migrants arriving on UK shores, many in small boats, amid the rising popularity of the hard right and anti-immigrant reform UK party. And now let's see how much of excitement we can find in the world of sports. The Nigeria Olympic Committee has launched a new safeguarding initiative and mental health platform ahead of the 22nd National Sports Festival in Ogun State. The initiative includes the unveiling of a comprehensive safeguarding handbook and the introduction of Safe Space, a dedicated platform designed to promote athletes' welfare, provide psychological support, and strengthen protective measures across Nigeria's sporting landscape. Away from home, Nottingham Forest striker Taiwo Awoniyi has woken from an induced coma after undergoing surgery to repair a serious abdominal injury. Awoniyi had the first part of the surgery on Monday after sustaining a ruptured intestine during a march. And that's a full cycle here on the news. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen, including at Global TV NG. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcasts. I am Uyi Agmofwegwe saying a big thank you to you for watching. We will see you again.